the hope with warfare, without disparaging any other, films that have depicted warfare environments, is that it's more kind of authentic and truthful than anything else. It's been sort of stripped of any fictionalized or dramatized elements, and there's a tendency in Hollywood to kind of glorify and romanticize some of these things, and this really deals with largely the negative consequences of war, and it's about as much of an anti-war film as an anti-war film can be.
All right. I actually watched it last night. I think my ears are still ringing. I can't quite hear. But what makes this film unique, it's written by Alex Garland, but also one of the veterans who was in it. What was that, being written and directed by two people, one of them who has actually lived the war itself?
Well, the two of them were able to kind of offer their own, immense strengths in their own fields, and Ray's been working in the film, industry for a fair while now, but Alex is a real titan in it. So for the two of them to be able to work, and Ray to be able to offer his incredible insight about, being a Navy SEAL, and this event in particular was pretty extraordinary. So I think any kind of authenticity that we were able to achieve was very much down to him and his counterparts.
I get the feeling you guys really bonded. You became a kind of band of brothers during this, and I've heard that you all got nicknames behind the scenes. I know what yours is, Will. What was yours?
Say it.
Mine was Daddy.
Daddy. Why were you the daddy?
I think I was Daddy because I was just reminding lads to eat and get in the van on time and make sure they knew when laundry day was. Yeah. And Kit, very appropriately for such a young, handsome man, was Babyface.
Babyface. I can see that. I can see that.
Yeah.
And I also heard that you guys have got tattoos.
We did get matching tattoos.
All tattoos. Can we see the tattoos, or is it a bit too?
Mine is on my inner arm, but I don't think I'll be able to.
Mine is quite high up on my leg. So
either way,
not.
Inappropriate.
But that's quite special. You don't get a tattoo on every movie.
No, not lightly, and it's kind of a reflection of the bond that we all kind of, forged over this process. We did a 3.5-week boot camp, which, was integral to learning a skill set in order to kind of, give our best efforts of representing Navy SEALs. But also, we formed a really strong sort of emotional bond with each other, and I think, the tattoos in a way are symbols of the fact that our friendships will outlast the filmmaking process.
And Kit, this is quite a departure from you. Heartstopper was what most people know you for, and this is like probably the complete opposite end of that. Was that difficult to transition from there?
I wouldn't say difficult to transition. This job had its challenges for sure, but I think it was definitely a welcome challenge. As an actor, you want to try and stretch yourself and do as much variety as possible. So it was very much a welcome challenge for me.
And I think this film really has to be seen in the cinemas. Would you say that?
Yeah, I think so. I think part of trying to impart a very kind of visceral and sort of realistic experience on the viewer relies on like a great sound system and a big screen experience. That's not to say you can't watch it in another format, but it's kind of how it's best served.
Especially the sound system. The sound system it must be immaculate.
Yeah.
Kit, Will, thank you so much. And the film is out on the 11th of April.